and his son Baylor. Baylor.
Derek Pearson is our judge, and his son Baylor. Here from El Reno to judge the Winoka show. We welcome you this morning. We left you just a few hours ago at the gym on the campus of Winoka. This is the 4-H FFA local livestock show. We'll complete it all in one day, and then next Monday, we'll start the county show in Alva. It's a Monday-Tuesday show.
All right. Well, it's certainly my privilege to be here this morning to sort through your livestock and work with your young people. Certainly a good indication of what's to come. The young lady's doing an awesome job out here getting this hair sheep presented. As we all know, those things are a little challenging and difficult in their own right. But she brings us one that we certainly have to appreciate when you study that one from a design and balance standpoint. That's a sheep that has some height there at her shoulder. As Baylor and I were talking, we really love this one's hind leg posture and the squareness that she has to her hock. We like the maternal swoop there to her belly. You get critical on that one. Maybe you'd like to stouten her up out of her dock and pull just a little bit of that condition off of her. But certainly a high quality individual. Let's put our hands together and congratulate this young lady on a high quality hair sheep.
Congratulations to Micaiah Bruni with our champion Hair U. Coming in next will be Stetson Nix. We will have our Dorset Advantage class. His Dorset Advantage is an April of 25 ewe lamb.
Another single entry here in this class, young man, that brings us another very, very high quality sheep. That guy, once you get that one set up and propped up from the side, I think that one's balance and symmetry is very good. That one has that extra athletic look through the front 1/3 of her skeleton. And as soon as that one came in, you could see the amount of muscle that one has right behind her shoulder blade. That one's progression of width is very, very good. Her handling characteristics are awesome. One that's sound enough on both ends of her skeleton. When you set her into motion, maybe you'd like to drop her flank just a little bit to make her underlying quality just a little bit better. Getting ultra critical on a high quality ewe. Congratulations, young man.
Congratulations to Stetson Nix on his champion Dorset Advantage ewe. Our next class coming in will be our Hampshire ewe lamb class. There is one entry from Stetson Nix. She is a March of 25 ewe lamb.
Certainly an interesting creature here in this class. The young man brings us one that when she comes into the ring is not one to show off maybe quite as well. She wants to go ahead and dip her shoulder, but when I think she goes ahead and gets her attitude right, I think that sheep does run uphill. I think her balance and symmetry is very good from a handling and muscularity standpoint and body shape. I think that one's elite. Get critical on her. Maybe you'd like to make the top of her neck come out of the top of her shoulder just a little bit better, but that one has got the extra bells and whistles in terms of bone and foot size and quality, in terms of muscularity and handling. It's a really, really high quality sheep. Congratulations to him.
Congratulations to Stetson Nix on his champion Hampshire U. Next in the ring will be our Southdown class. We have a single entry from Kaiser White. She is a March of 25 ewe lamb.
The voice here in the ring or outside of the ring is ag instructor Keela Nix. And inside the ring, the father-son duo, the ag teacher in El Reno, Oklahoma. Is that right, Mr. Nick?
He is the one of the ag instructors at Redlands Community College now. He was a ag instructor at La Kiba Sickles before that, but he's moved to El Reno and is there in the ag department at Redlands.
I see. And his name and his son?
Is Derek Pearson and his son Baylor.
Great to have two in the ring. Although there's not a lot of conversation, it's pretty obvious who's in charge.
Yeah, I'd say Baylor's probably got his pick out there.
Right.
Another high quality individual here. The young man brings us a sheep that balances up extremely well, and one you certainly have to appreciate. That one's symmetry in the way that one's top line integrity stays level in motion. That one's tall shouldered. That one's level hipped. That one's good in terms of her center body and her rear rib and flank. She's maybe not the hairiest in terms of her bone and foot size. Maybe doesn't handle quite as good and expressive as some of the other sheep that we've seen today, but that one for her breed is very high quality. Congratulations to this young man.
Champion Southdown U goes to Kaiser White. We're now moving into our commercial ewe lamb class. We have a single entry from Paisley Reed. We'd like to give a special thank you to a few folks. Lindsay Seaman for branding the prizes. So if you see some of the prizes over here that have some engraving and stuff on them with the laser, Lindsay Seaman provided that for us. Core Bank for sponsoring our lunch. And Brittany Beck for donating some baking prizes. We appreciate all of you folks. And as per usual at most of our events here at Winoka, we have Miss Rankin ringside. She's going to be snapping some photos for us, and she'll have them up on her Facebook page and share them with everybody. So if you see her taking a picture of your exhibitor in the ring, I bet she'll have it posted there probably this evening. But for sure by the end of the weekend.
young lady brings us a very high quality sheep here. And when that one hit the ring, that was one that I was very attracted to, in just the terms of that one's center body and the lower third in that one, and just way all the parts and pieces lined up. You go in and when she's parked this particular sheep and you study him from a 3/4 view, that one's turned to his stifle, the depth to his twist is one that's very bubbly when you study her from behind. So you certainly appreciate and you're drawn to those attributes, and you go in, and I think that one handles with enough shape. Maybe you'd like to make her stouter out of the top side of her hip and make her transition there into her hip loin junction just a little bit better. Maybe it needs to just tie with a little more depth to her loin compared to a couple other ones. But from aesthetically, and you set her into motion, that one's as nice as anything we've seen today. Congratulations to this young lady.
Congratulations to Paisley Reed with her Champion Commercial ewe. And it is now time for our ewe drive. We will have 5 head. So we'll bring back our Hair Lamb from Micaiah Bruni, our Dorset Advantage from Stetson Nix, our Hampshire ewe lamb from Stetson Nix, our Southdown ewe lamb, Kaiser White, and our commercial ewe lamb from Paisley Reed. And this year, you've probably seen it advertised that we will continue our adult showmanship contest at the end of the sheep show. So if you want to nominate an adult showman, it is $10. If that adult wants to get out of showmanship, it is $20. So come on down here to the front desk, and Chancey or Kelly will take care of that, and I will get you guys signed up. So adult showmanship, please come nominate them. The money collected from the adult showmanship this year is going to be a 50-50 pot draw. And so the lucky winner will receive 50% of the jackpot. And then the other 50% we are going to donate to one of our teachers up here in the elementary school who is going through a little bit of a hard time with her health right now. So we're going to donate some money and help her family out. Okay.
I'm going to bring all of our breed champions back out here for your selection of your champion overall, all the way from the hair sheep to the crossbred sheep. There's a lot of quality in the show ring right now for a local show, and you guys are to be commended on that. I think y'all are going into your county, I was told, here in a few days, and your district show right after that. And I think as you project these things on out, I think y'all are going to have a fun spring, and I would just to tell you to keep up the good work and listen to your ag teachers and your parents, and things might fall into play with you. I think it comes down to 3 sheep, in my opinion, out here, and I think there's just one that has the extras in terms of bells and whistles and bone and foot size, and I think this one just is so aggressive in terms of that one's rack and shape and body shape there through her forerib. I think this one has a distinct advantage in terms of how much she has on the top side of her hip. We'd like to change her there from her navel back into her underline and make her a little more maternal, and maybe make her neck just tie a little higher the top side of her blade. But I think she's just the highest quality one. The young man with the hamp's going to be your champion. We take that sheep out, and there's another one that's just from an aesthetic and balance standpoint. I actually like this sheep through her center portion of her body and her lower flank better than our champion. I think where she runs short is when you go in for close inspection. I don't think that sheep beats your hand with as much shape to her rack. I don't think that one's loin is big. I don't think she's set as functionally wide in her pins. But aesthetically, when you set her into motion and you prop her up, I think that one's balance and symmetry is very, very good. The young lady with a crossbred will have your reserve champion.
Congratulations to Stetson Nix with the champion breeding ewe from the Hampshire class. And then our reserve breeding ewe comes from our commercial ewe lambs, Paisley Reed. Congratulations. So here next to me at the table is Mr. Benny Buckland, and he has a live stream going, and probably archive it.
Archive it live and archive on all those.
Okay, it is live currently and will be archived, and you can find that on kalvradio.com and railroader.tv. You also find it at KALV Facebook and the YouTube channel. Thank you, Benny, for coming and helping us get our show out there to everyone that couldn't make it today.
You're welcome.
Judging our show today is a father-son duo coming from El Reno, Mr. Derek Pearson and his son Baylor. Derek currently is in the ag department there at Redlands Community College, and Baylor is a senior at El Reno High School. Our first class that we are getting ready for on our market lambs will be our Dorset.
This quarter is brought to you by Viv's Flowers and Things in downtown Winoka. Flowers for any occasion. Give Viv a call at 580-824-0023.
Lambs is a single entry in our Dorset breed from Paisley Reed. Throughout the day, you're going to see some of our FFA officers and possibly some of our 4-H officers in the ring helping and assisting. In the ring currently is Rietta Poseidon. She is our chapter president. And just outside the ring helping to line up is Rolton Poseidon. He's our current vice president. I'm not exactly sure what all offices they have.
Nice way to start our market weather sheep show here. The young lady brings us one that you can obviously tell from the outside is very tall-shouldered. That one's chest floor is pushed up extremely high, and that guy is very athletic as you study him through the front one-third of his skeleton. I really appreciate those attributes that he brings to the table. I love how he has the depth that he has from his navel back and makes his balance and proportion really well. One sheep that's very good in terms of his hip. When you set him into motion, you don't want to drop his pins. A sheep that's got enough muscle. Maybe we'd like to tone him up and give him a little more shape when you go in for a close inspection, but certainly a high quality individual.
Congratulations to Paisley Reed with our champion Dorset Market Lamb. Our next class of Market Lambs is going to be our hair class. We have a single entry from Micaiah Bruni with her 90-pound Dorper. Okay. They're in order. Hey, Chancey, do they have prizes that you need to pick up? On the bake sale? Do they have something over there, or is it just a ribbon, or? Okay.
Jana has.
Okay. We have some results from our baking show, and if you want to come forward, Jan up here with her arm up has the prizes. So in fourth place in our no bake competition was Reese States. Third place, Mackie Litzenberger. Second place, Keaton Webb. And first place, Merritt Ashton.
I didn't hear your name. Just a single entry here in our hair division. The young lady brings us certainly a interesting kind of a market lamb. The sheep that you go in for close inspection, that guy handles with a ton of shape over his rack and his loin. And I think when you go ahead and shear that hair or wool off of him, I think his skin is going to be extremely tight and he's going to touch extremely well. He's a sheep that offers lots of length and extension through the front 1/3 of his skeleton. He's a sheep that measures long from his 13th rib back. You get particular on that guy. He needs to be more robust about his cage and his center body, and maybe drop him there in his loin, but certainly one that is very carcass driven. Congratulations to this young lady.
Congratulations to Micaiah Bruni with our champion hare market lamb. Our next class is going to be our Hampshire market lambs. We have a single entry from Stetson Nix with his 170-pound lamb. More results for our baking show. In our Rice Krispie division, fourth place went to Alice Wetherill. Third place to Cake and Webb. Second place to Mackie Litzenberger. First place to Reese States. And in our muffin division, fifth place, Nivea Lavario. Fourth place, Carter Webb. Third place, Marky Litzenberger. Second place, Caroline Smith. And first place, Hadley Smith. In our drop cookies division, sixth place to Naomi Ashton. Fifth place, Parker Storer. Fourth place, Calvin Litzenberger. Third place to Caroline Wetherill. Second place to Marky Litzenberger. And first place to El Boucher. And in our cinnamon rolls, second place to Jackson Litzenberger. And first place to Mackenzie Storer. Congratulations, and thank you for bringing an entry to our baking show this year.
Single entry here in this class. The young man brings us one that's certainly got some length and extension. That one from his fourth rib to his foreflank or his rear flank is one that offers us lots of extension in that regard. He's a sheep that's tall-shouldered and elevated in his chest floor. You go in for close inspection. That's a sheep that fills your hand in terms of his rack and his loin. He's stout out of the top side of his hip, and he's got lots of turn to his stifle and his twist. You're going to get particular on this guy. I'd like to change him on either end of his skeleton. Go ahead and push him back there in his blade, change him and square him in his hock, and maybe make him move with a little more flexibility when he goes away from you. But certainly a high quality sheep. Congratulations to this young man.
Champion Hampshire Market Lamb goes to Stetson Nix. Our next class is our first class of naturals with a single entry from Paisley Reed.
And at the photo shop, just breaking away, some more of our winners from the baking contest. We had a lot of depth in, 6 or 7 categories?
Yeah, and the little guys came in with several entries, so we're proud to have them come in. Most of them are not livestock exhibitors, and so we're glad to have them come out to our show and be able to participate in our local show. So thank you.
Well done, and thanks to our judges for sorting this out. As you can see at the photo session, more of our bake event winners.
There's 2 classes of these, aren't there? Yeah. Here in our first class of naturals, a young lady brings us a very interesting sheep. Once she gets that one put together, he projects a silhouette that's very aesthetically pleasing in terms of his proportions and balance. It's a sheep that stands square on his front toe and his hock's good. He runs uphill. His progression of width is nice. The swoop to his underline is aesthetically pleasing. I know we got a little hair or wool back there, but I still think from his navel back, it's still attractive. The sheep comes with some issues, like he needs to be fatter, just to be plain and simple. That sheep's very raw in terms of his loin and over his forerib. If we could change that about him, just give him more time, push on him, I think that guy gets really good in the next 30 days. Are very interesting. Let's put our hands together and congratulate this young lady.
Congratulations, Paisley. She was our Class 9 winner. We will now have Class 10 natural lambs, Cannon Wyatt.
Just this? Sorry, I told you it's
Another interesting natural fiber sheep here to win this class, and he's interesting. He brings us some different pieces to the table. He's one that's very practical in his build in terms of his center body. He's a sheep that has some spread up high in terms of his rack and loin and his pins. When you set him into motion is where he wants to run into some problems for me. He's a little more common there in his forearm. He doesn't come at you with near enough base width or explosion coming or going. And when you go in, like I said earlier, he's got width. This guy just needs to be creased up in terms of his rack and his loin and his hip and stifle shape, but certainly one that's just very practical in his build. Congratulations to this young lady.
Congratulations, Kanan Wyatt, with our Class 10 winner. We'll now bring both natural lambs back into the ring. Class 9, Paisley Reed. Class 10, Kanan Wyatt. As we begin our string of shows here this spring, this is our beginning show here at our local. And then this time we only have a couple of days since we had to move our date. We will be headed to Woods County on Monday and Tuesday. So our Woods County show, Monday, we will have our hogs in the morning and our cattle in the afternoon. And then on Tuesday, we will move into our sheep and then our goat show. So if you can, please join us up there at Alva at the fairgrounds, and we will have our Woods County Spring Show there on Monday and Tuesday.
Nice pair of natural colored sheep out here, and the young ladies are doing an awesome job of getting them presented. Definitely each one of them brings some positive attributes to the table, but I think there's just one that comes to us in a little higher quality, more aesthetically pleasing packages that has more of the ESTs in terms of height at the shoulder, more shape and dimension, working right behind her shoulder blade and down her loin. We like to change this sheep the way his hip, or the heel of his loin ties into his hip. He's not washed or anything like that. It just ties in just a nickel low, and I think that fills in if you go ahead and get a little more condition on this particular sheep. The dark fibered sheep's going to be champion. The light fibered sheep will be reserved. Congratulations to both of those young ladies.
Our champion natural market lamb goes to Paisley Reed. Our reserve champion natural market lamb goes to Kanan Wyatt. We are now going to move into our Shropshire breed. We have one single entry from Stetson Nix. We are still taking nominations for our adult showmanship class. So if you would like to nominate someone, come down to see the ladies and nominate your favorite sheep showman.
Bill, are you the nomination person? Sure. I'd like to nominate Coach. The oil brings back. I tip everybody.
single entry here in our Schropp breed. The young man brings us certainly one that we can appreciate a lot of things about. Starting at his foundation, that guy's got a big foot, he's got hairy legs, and as you progress up there, he's a sheep that has some forearm. He's big in terms of his rack, he's round in terms of his cage, one that's long and tall-shouldered, and we like those things about him. When you get him on the side profile is where he kind of comes into pieces for me. From his 13th rib forward, I really like him. From his last rib to the beginning of his hook bones, he wants to get a little weird, in my opinion. His loin doesn't set right where it needs to. He's getting a little roachy there in his top, and then out of his hip and dock, that guy is really big pinned. He's nice in terms of the turn to his stifle and the depth that he has to his twist. We just get all those pieces to blend a little more seamlessly. He'd definitely be an intriguing Shropshire lamb. Congratulations to both of this exhibitor.
Congratulations, Stetson Nix, with our champion Shropshire Market Lamb. Next into the ring will be our Southdown breed. We have a single entry from Kaiser White with his 128-pound Southdown lamb.
We have our first nomination for the Super Showman, Coach Westfall.
We have our first nomination for the Sheep Show, Coach Westfall. You have been nominated. We'd like to give him some competition out here in the ring. So if you know of somebody that is a super sheep showman, we would like to get them out there with him.
Young man brings a single entry here in the Southdown division, and the first word that I said to Baylor was, I like this one. This one, if you study him at his foundation, he's square in terms of his build and his chest. He's big in terms of his bone and his foot size. He comes at you with a big rib, and when you get on top of him, for his breed, he certainly doesn't disappoint you. That guy's got a big upstanding rack. His progression of width is right. He's stout out of the top side of his hip, and I might like him best when you set him into motion, just the way all the parts and pieces blend together, the elevation that he has through the his chest floor and the swoop to his underline, the way he uses his hock when you set him into motion. That's a high quality sheep for a Southdown. Congratulations to this young man.
Congratulations, Kaiser White, on your champion Southdown Market Lamb. Coach Slater, you have been added to the Sheep Showman list. We need a whole ring full, so if you know somebody, let's get them back here to come on down and give a name. Kelly will take the name and money.
It's the best $10 you'll ever spend.
Oh, it's high quality, okay.
It is.
What did we call this one? Single entry here in our Suffolk class. A young lady brings us one that's certainly, that one's hide and texture of muscle is very good. In terms of his hide, it's very thin and tight, and we appreciate those attributes. That's a sheep that's tall-shouldered. That's a sheep that's underlined. It's put in him right. I appreciate the length of the spine that one has and the integrity in which he carries himself and is around the ring. You study him as an individual. We just need to make this guy more robust in terms of bone and foot size and progress up his skeleton from there. We need to make his rib rounder, and we just need to bust him open in terms of muscularity and structural base width. Congratulations, this young lady.
Our champion Suffolk Market Lamb goes to Cannon Wyatt. Next up in the ring will be our Whiteface Cross. We have a single entry from Kaiser White.
Young man brings us a high-quality sheep here. It's one that's very athletic through the front one-third of his skeleton, and he uses that front-end structure to his advantage to make him taller at the point of his shoulders. His neck comes out of the top side of his blade like it needs to. He's a sheep that progressively thickens from front to rear, and he's round enough about his cage. I really love the front two-thirds of this particular sheep. The back third, in terms of muscularity, is good and square. We just like to change the way he moves out of his hip and make him set or flex with more, have more flexibility as you set him into motion and cover more ground. He wants to get a little more upright there in his hawk angle, but certainly a high quality sheep. As we said, Baylor and I, the front two-thirds of this sheep are one that they're as aesthetically pleasing as you can find. Congratulations to this young man.
Congratulations, Kaiser White, with your champion Whiteface Cross Market Lamb. Our last class of the Lamb Show will be our Blackface Cross, brought to us by Stetson Nix.
single entry here in this class. The young man brings us a high quality one. As soon as he hits the ring, he gathers your attention at the show ring surface. He's a sheep that's got a big forearm in him. He's got big fuzzy legs, and he has the feet underneath to match it. That one's underline's very good. His top line integrity is very good. Certainly a high quality sheep. You want to get uber critical on that guy. He's of some of the sheep we've seen today and some that this young man has shown, he may be a little shallow or twisted, and he doesn't quite have that turn to the lower portion of his leg when you set him into motion and study him or on the prop. But I think that one's balance, symmetry, and just overall quality is very, very high. Congratulations to this young man.
You're watching the local 4-H and FFA livestock show in Winoka. We appreciate you joining us today, and we appreciate our sponsors that take us around the country. We'll be back with more from the show right after this.
Clean Harbors, hazardous waste disposal and recycling services provide the widest range of recycling, treatment, and disposal options for all your hazardous waste streams. Unmatched in North America, our infrastructure of hazardous waste management facilities services all of the U.S. and Canada, northern Mexico, and Puerto Rico. We handle both drum and bulk hazardous waste in liquid, solid, semi-solid, sludge, and gas forms. One call handles all your hazardous waste disposal needs. Located in Winoka, where we proudly support our railroaders.
Bryant Suffet.
This is the sheep drive.
White face cross.
So all of them in.
And coming at the end will be our blackface cross from Stetson Nicks. This is our lineup for champion market lamb. Go ahead and grab that one. I didn't see it back here. That's not the one that's outside. No, it's the one that's inside.
I'll find something. Maybe you should have practiced in this one. Surely you can beat your sister. It can be good if there's four of you. Okay. Sound pretty confident. It's better. I'm not worried about me. Well, it should be better. But this side there's slippery because they were blocking the top.
Can we show them outside?
While we have a moment here, I'd like to recognize all of our buyers at our trophy auction back on January 19th. We had a full house there in the multi-purpose building, and during that sale for the trophy auction, we gathered over $71,000 for these youth here in the livestock ring, and we appreciate every single one of the people and businesses that were buyers of those trophies. And as you see boxes and different things going out with our champions, those are all prizes that were purchased with that money, and then they will also get a premium from this show that will help them with their later purchases of their project. So we appreciate every single one of those folks that was there at the sale or sent money for purchasing those trophies. We want to thank every one of you that was there, and we invite you out to next year's sale, which will be about the same time. We try to get it there around that Martin Luther King Day, and come out and enjoy a really good evening, good meal, and we appreciate every single one of you. Thank you.
Was it little short crimp stuff? It didn't look like it was a really long. This is almost too long. I wish it was about half inch shorter, maybe an inch.
Well, let's put our hands together and congratulate these exhibitors on a high quality set of market lambs. All the way from the Dorset down here to our crossbred, there's lots of quality standing in the ring, and even more so in terms of the young people on the heads of these things. Y'all are all doing an excellent job, and I look forward to showmanship, and you won't ever hear me say that because I absolutely am not a fan of judging showmanship because it's so opinionated. I'm not going to go back and talk each individual one, but Baylor and I definitely, we have our first domestic dispute out here in the show ring, and unfortunately for him, I'm 43 and he's 18 and I win. But it is what it is. I think there's one that comes to the top for me relatively quick when you just start checking all the boxes of market fundamentals in terms of starting at their base width and building livestock from there. Is he perfect? Absolutely not. But I think he's one high quality individual. The young man with this crossbred is going to have your champion. I'd come to you, but I ran out of cord.
Thank you.
I think after that, it gets a little closer in my mind and not so much in Baylor's. I think there's a couple other sheep out here that are really nice, and I'm only going to talk about two of them. And the one sheep is the natural sheep. This sheep, when she gets him put into place, like that one's aesthetically pleasing. I love the hock posture and angle that one has. I love how he runs uphill. I love the lack of chest depth that he has. It's pushed up where it needs to be. That sheep, when you get him into motion, that bump or whatever's going on the front side of his shoulder there kind of throws me off. But more specifically, that sheep just needs to handle with more wow factor for me. Like he handles with some shape and dimension of muscle. Like I said earlier, his loin wants to tie in a little low at the base of his heel, or the heel of his loin wants to tie in just a little low there in his hip. And that's where the problems run into me. But I think that one is very intriguing, and I think he's very high quality. The other sheep that we like out here, maybe second or third best or whatever you want to end it on, or third, I guess it would be. And I don't know if this is third best because I haven't landed on my final decision yet, but it's that young man's Southdown sheep down there. That one hit me very hard as soon as he came into the ring in terms of just basic, fundamentally sound, good livestock. That guy is extremely big in terms of his foot and his feature. His chest floor matches the top side of his skeleton. He's robust in his rib. His pins are big. He's not maybe my speed in terms of just up and out up front. That guy is a Southdown, and they don't have a whole lot of up and out, but I think for his breed and that particular sheep, it all makes sense. That's a very high quality sheep, and if I was that young man, I'd be looking forward to the county, the district, and the Oklahoma Youth Expo. With that being said, we'll go out and select your reserve champion. Congratulations to all these exhibitors.
Good job, lamb exhibitors. Congratulations to our champion market lamb, the Stetson Nix with his black-faced cross. And our reserve champion market lamb goes to Paisley Reed with her natural market lamb.
Does the grand champion get that cardboard box?
Yeah, the chair.
Then the reserve gets the
Cooler.
Jay was for Grant. That's for Stetson.
And you'll have to ask them. I think it's the buckle deal. Is the showmanship.
He might get them this way.
Guild exhibitors, we are working on sheep showmanship at this time. Juniors are in the ring. We have a single entry in the intermediates and then a pair for the seniors. So, doe, goats, please be getting ready at this time.
Let's put our hands together for both of these young people out here doing an awesome job. You can drive a lot of miles and not find two showmen doing as good a job as these two are here. These two are out here, and you guys are to be commended on that. And you're only going to get better as time progresses and you stay hooked. So my hat's off to you. I think you could flip a coin, and I wouldn't argue with you one way or the other. I think both of you's body position is very good. You do a very good job of getting their head and neck where it needs to be. Sometimes maybe we want to overdrive one. Sometimes maybe cream gets a little wild and gets elusive. So all those things go into factor in my mind, and that's, you'll hear me maybe, hopefully I won't say it again, but I probably will. Showmanship's won at home, and that's where it all starts. There's never been more heated arguments at our house than when we're working on showmanship. So both of you are doing a really good job. The young man's going to be a champion. Young lady, you're going to be reserved. Congratulations to both of you.
Congratulations. Kaiser is our champion junior showman, and Micaiah Bruni is our reserve champion showman. We have not closed our adult showmanship nominations yet, so if you would like to nominate your favorite sheep showman, don't forget to come down and see the ladies at the table and get them signed up. In the ring now at this time is our intermediate showmanship. We have single entry with Paisley Reed.
just a single entry here in our intermediate division. This young lady has been a standout from the onset when she came in the ring the first time. This sheep can, and when that one's set in motion, can give us some weird looks, but when she gets that one put into place and makes that one, hides his negative attributes and amplifies that one's positive attributes, she does it to a very, very high degree. Congratulations on being the champion intermediate showman.
Congratulations, Paisley Reed. She is our intermediate sheep showmanship winner. We are now ready for our senior class. We have two individuals, Kanan Wyatt and Stetson Nix.
You got the nicer one. I don't know if it's the one.
Yep, that box is down there. Just throw it down there. Ground. Should be some clipboards in there.
As long as you don't run out here, you're in good shape.
Well, if Bryce keeps drinking this, I am gonna run out. This is what I lived off of yesterday.
I should be out running
I
laps.
bought a 12-pack and I think I had 3 left.
You may have to send you anything this morning.
Yeah.
That's fine. Yep.
Trying to tell Chancey that the guy on the mic isn't very good. She's like this right.
After
And she said no.
After lunch is done, so I think around 1 at 1. Listen, we're going to start back up at 1, right?
Should be thereabouts. Takes about 1 o'clock.
How about those goats? I like those goats. Hey girl, that's what I've lived off of the last 2 days. He's like, this hat it is.
Let's put our hands together and congratulate both of these senior showmen. Out here doing a really, very nice job. They both did a very good job from the beginning of the show to now. I think there's just some subtle differences. I think their body positions are very similar. They get their head and neck where it needs to be. I think there's one that's just a little more efficient about getting their animal where he needs to be and locking in and not having as much deviation. The young man's going to be your champion. Young lady will be reserved. Congratulations to both of them.
Congratulations, Stetson Nix, our champion senior showman, and Kanan Wyatt is our reserve champion showman. The champion showmanship winners for each species will come back after the cattle show and will be in the all-around showmanship contest.
Jackson and Remington grabbed it.
Okay.
It's back on the back side.
If our showmanship winners would put their lambs up or hand them to somebody and come back to the ring and assist our judges, we're going to go to our adult showmanship. So if Kaiser, Paisley, and Stetson would come back to the ring. We have 3 adult showmen, Coach Westfall, Coach Slater, and James Hanson. Grab you a lamb and let's head into the ring.
Now, this is not a part of every show, but it's a fun part of this show. These are people who had probably no idea that they were going to end up in the ring today. Coach Westfall comes in with the lamb that's been loaned to him. Coach Slater follows, and there should be a Hanson somewhere. As you can see, these 2 coaches are really up to date and up to speed on how to show a sheep, right? Huh?
I bet they are experts by now. After watching the first few classes here, they should know what they're doing out there in the ring.
And here comes our Hanson entry. So these are the 3. As you can see, they're all very proud of themselves. Very proud. What do you think is happening here?
We've got a lot of observation from the judges and seeing how our exhibitors are doing out there in the ring. So hopefully we can get these lambs stuck and get them shown to the best of their ability, and then we'll see what those exhibitors think of it.
Tough to pick a winner at this point. In fact, there may not be any winners in this show.
It may just be an eeny, meeny, miny, mo situation out there in the ring at this point.
It could possibly. Coach Westfall seems to be gaining some traction, however.
I know. What he does on a normal day basis.
Coach Westfall's rubber booted tiger could be the winner of this class. That may be what pulls him up to the top.
He does have the look of a sheep man for sure.
Yeah, especially with those pants tucked into the boots. I mean, that is the thing that may pull him up to the top.
That's obviously worked for him somewhere along the line in trying to meet women previous to his marriage. I bet he dressed probably that way.
I bet, and he found him a pretty good one, so maybe that is the key to it.
We should all, come to think of it, if that worked, yeah, we should all be wearing rubber boots with our pants tucked in.
He may be the cover man for that type of look of things. So
I can see him on the cover of the Youth Expo, really.
Standing out there in the Coliseum, the brand new OG&E Coliseum we get to go into this year. Yeah, he would look sharp out there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Flying the OSU colors. I'm sure they're proud also.
Proud supporter he is. Yes, sir.
Looks to me like they're walking quickly. These judges are by Coach Slater like, well, here he is.
Yeah, they made a pretty quick pass there, so I'm not sure.
That's usually not a good sign.
No. Sometimes just standing there and looking pretty just doesn't do the job all the way.
Well, they're in conference now, these judges are. And I think they're going to let the baby pick that Stetson is carrying.
Yeah, Levi might have the pick this time. If Slater might have taken off that hat, that maroon, I just read, I don't know if that's quite fitting in this situation now.
No, that may be the deciding factor. It may well.
Hey, turn it down, sweetheart.
So Levi is in the conversation here as the judges huddle, and I think, Levi's ready to point, so we're ready. Is Levi picked? Levi made the pick? Okay. All right, we're going to go to the winner now.
Y'all want the mic? Take this one. Right next to each other.
After careful, oh, is it on? Do I have it on? Oh, is it on? Okay, there we go. After careful consideration and a lot of work, I think we've come to an agreement. Coach Westfall.
It's right here. Hey.
So-
Kaiser, just give it back. Just donate it back.
Good job, Coach Westfall. Coach Slater and James, thank you for coming out and being good sports. We appreciate it.
We are now ready for our goat show. So, goat showman, we are ready for our first class of does.
What a winner. What a winner. Our winner has donated back his winnings into the next circle. So more money going in the pot for the next senior judges.
We're going to move into our lightweight class. We have a single entry shown by Reagan Wilson with her 60-pound doe.
Single entry here in our first class of breeding does. The young lady brings us one that certainly has some extras in terms of length and extension through the front 1/3 of her skeleton. That one's neck sets on the top side of her blade like you want it to. Our progression of width is good. She's a female that has some depth to her rear rib and flank, and when you go in for a close inspection, she has some spread to her rack and her loin. High quality individual. Maybe you'd like to push her back there in her knee, but certainly a high quality individual for this young lady. Congratulations to her.
Congratulations to our lightweight doe class winner, Reagan Wilson. We're now going to move into our middleweight division. Our first class is a single entry with Charles Hansen, his 86-pound doe. Our goat show is not quite as long as our sheep show, so you don't have as much time to get our nominations in. So we will have adult showmanship on the goat show side. So if you are wanting to nominate a goat showman, come on down. Don't hesitate. We just have a few classes of goats.
Single entry here in our second class. The young man brings us one that is very, very dense in terms of her build and her center body and the mass that she has on the top side of her skeleton. She's a female that's really pulled apart in her chest floor. She's one that has lots of width and spread up high. She's functionally wide there in her pin set. I think that one's skeleton is very good in terms of her flexibility and her bendiness of her hind leg. Let's put our hands together and congratulate this young man.
Congratulations to our class 2 of our class 1 of our middleweights, Charles Hansen. We have one more class of our middleweight division. It is El Boucher with her 96-pound doe. Then we will come back in for our champion middleweight.
Another single entry. The young lady brings us one that certainly could withstand some competition. There's a sheep or a goat that you certainly appreciate for her flexibility, the slope and angle to her shoulder, the way she's pushed back in her knee. She's a female that reaches and grabs plenty with her hind leg of the show ring surface. Certainly one when you get your hands on them that's got some shape and dimension of muscle. When you get behind this particular goat where she wants to run into some problems, she's not as robust in her rib cage. She's not as stout in terms of the depth of her twist and the turn to her stifle, but one that balances up very well and is very flexible. Congratulations to this young lady.
Congratulations, Elle. You are a Class 3 winner. We'll bring Charles back in for our middleweight division. Yeah, have her follow right behind Charles. Yeah, we'll do a division.
bring our class-winning Division II ghosts out here, and I think there's very different in terms of their build and their type and their kind, and I think the one that we ultimately land on, and when we keep these things and just go back to basics and start at the foundation, I think there's one that has the advantage of just being bolder in terms of her cage. I think she's bolder and wider through the front 1/3 of her skeleton, and I think she maintains that class or division advantage on the top side of her skeleton. I just think she has the ESTs in terms of width, muscle, and density. She's not the tallest shouldered one. She's not the geeky necked one, but I think she's just very high quality stock. The one closest to me is going to be your champion. The young lady's going to be reserved. Congratulations to both of them.
Yes. Yeah. One class of them. Congratulations, Charles. You are our middleweight division winner. Elle, you are our reserve division winner there for our middleweights. We're going to move into our heavyweight class. We have a single class with 2 entries. We have an entry from Reagan Wilson at 109 pounds and Adley Hansen at 110 pounds. Side of the hog barn and stuff. Kind of. I mean, the posts and all of that. I don't think you can pull it there. And I don't. Let me come out here and see. I'll be in a second. Yeah.
You need me to move over there? No, I mean hand him the mic. Okay. Okay.
Thanks, sir. Whoa. Nice pair of blonde-headed does here in our 3rd division, and I think they're very high quality on both ends. But I think the one that I like the best is they're going to be the young ladies here on the right. And I think when you just study her in terms of the way her neck and shoulder and front end assembly all come together, I think it's more unique. She's more elevated there in her chest floor, more appropriate in her blade length. I think she maintains her structural integrity to a higher degree when you set her into motion. That one's got a little extra fuzz in terms of her back. When I think you go ahead and carve that one in, I think that one's going to project a silhouette that's very, very high quality. We like to make her stouter at the show ring surface. She gets a little flatter or more refined in terms of her bone and foot size, and her hair is definitely not helping her today, but I think that one's body shape and quality goes ahead and surpasses the young ladies. It's going to be second. The young lady's going to be second. That one has more shape down low to the lower portion of her cage, it looks like to me. I appreciate just the productive maternal look that she has through her center body. That one's set functionally wide, and in terms of her pin width, and she tracks with some width when you set her into motion. She just gets a little more common or ordinary when you study her through the front 1/3 of her skeleton. Her blade's a little longer, her neck sets just a little deeper into her shoulder, and she's not as feminine through the front 1/3 of her skeleton, but certainly 2 high quality individuals. Congratulations to both of these young ladies.
You're watching and taking part into the Winoka 4-H and FFA local livestock show. We're switching some animals around here in the location, so it'll be just a minute.
Hey, Marley,
Is this the goat? In the ring now, the goat drive.
We're bringing our 3 class or division winners out here for your champion, and I think we have 3 high-quality goats, and I think it comes down between a pair of them, and I think there's definitely some differences. We'll talk each one of them, all 3 of them, and then we'll get your champion. The young lady is predominantly red goat, is one that's very feminine through the front 1/3 of her skeleton. You love the way her neck shoots out on the top side of her shoulder. That one offers us some length of body, height at the point of her shoulder. We need to push that one's knee back into her. We need to give her more muscle, and we need to stout her in terms of her bone and foot size. The young man's doe that comes next is definitely the widest and the burliest in terms of bone and foot size and feature and forearm and cage. That one, his center body is very robust and round. That particular female, and we appreciate those attributes about. She handles with lots of shape and expression over her rack and loin. We study her at times. She wants to get a little more upright in the angle of her shoulder, and she wants to get a little straighter in terms of her hock compared to the one that stands behind her. But we certainly appreciate the true base width, rib, and bone that she brings to the table. Maybe we'd like to pick her up there at the apex of her shoulder and make her more athletic up the front, but certainly appreciate the meat and potatoes that one brings to the table. The young lady's predominantly white. One or blonde-headed one is one that's very elegant and athletic the way the front half of this one's skeleton's put together. The swoop to her belly, the elevation to her chest floor, the height at her shoulder. That one's easiness. I shouldn't say easy. That one's top line. She looks very comfortable in terms of the way all the parts and pieces are laid there in her skeleton. She comes at you with width. She leaves you with width. We'd like to make her stouter in terms of bone and foot size and just burliness at the ground. Maybe give her a shot more rib. The look of presence and quality from the side surpasses the other 2. She'll be your champion. Congratulations to her.
Congratulations. A reminder now, the GOAT Senior Showmanship is coming up. We have 2 names so far. It's just $10 to contribute to this event. Matt Campbell and Ronnie Pitts will be our 2 senior showmen so far. Bring the ladies a $10 bill and nominate your favorite.
We're bringing that second place out of the heavyweight class, and that one falls right into line in terms of just being a maternal female in terms of her center body. That one's big pinned, and we like those features about her. I think there's another one that just has more ESTs and just has a higher quality look and silhouette from the side and still packs a ton of punch. The young man that wins that middle division will be reserve champion. Congratulations to him.
Market Weathers coming in.
I can't help with that. And it helps a little.
I'm not done touching that. It's Boys. It's a new one. Her name is Psycho Bottom.
Yeah, I don't know.
Young man brings a single entry here in our first class of Market Weathers, and as soon as this one hits the gates, you can see that this guy has a big turn to his cage and a big turn to his top, and then when you go in for close inspection, it only confirms what you see with your eyes. That guy is, for the age and maturity and the size that one is, he has got a big fat back laid on the top side of his spine. He does have some wild hair going on, so it kind of throws you off in terms of like quality. But that guy, if you study him at the ground, he's big chested, he's good in terms of bone and foot size. You want to get critical on that guy. You'd like to strengthen him right there behind his shoulder, maybe elevate him there at the base of his chest, but you certainly have to appreciate just the sheer power and density that guy brings to the table for that size and maturity. Congratulations to him.
What's up? The heavyweight weather class moves in. Okay. After the goat drive, we will bring on the senior showmanship contest. So far, we have 2 entries. We need at least one more. Matt Campbell is one of our entries, and Ronnie Pitts the other. There is a rumor circulating that possibly Ronnie has escaped. If you see him, send him back this way.
He's right there.
He's down there sketching him out of his
Right.
single entry here in Class 2, and the young lady brings us one that's definitely different than our Class 1 winner. This one's definitely more up and out in terms of his front end assembly. This one's definitely more athletic in that regard. He too comes at you with enough chest width and bone and foot size. That one's rack is big, and as you progress down that one's spine, he certainly doesn't disappoint you. If you want to get particular on that market weather goat, you'd like to go ahead and fix him there in his hip loin junction and give him a little shot more muscle down low, but certainly a high quality market goat. Let's put our hands together and congratulate this young lady.
Grand drive for Weathers. Into the arena now, grand drive for Weathers. A reminder of the senior show, we need at least one more senior contestant. We have Matt Campbell and Ronnie Pitts. Need another one? It's only $10. Pay the young ladies here to my right. It goes to a good cause. I'm terribly working. Tied down.
Okay. Come on. Not me.
We'll bring our two class winners out here, and they're certainly different in their type and kind, like I said, in the last division or second class. And we get them out here, and it only confirms it. They're definitely different in type and kind. We got one that's just a meat and potatoes kind of a market goat. He's sound. His barrel is huge. He's very, very dense on the top side of his skeleton. Aesthetically, we'd like to make him a little neater. We'd like to change his neck. We'd like to smooth his shoulder. We'd like to fix him right there behind his blade. But certainly a high quality individual that's very, very practical and very, very advanced in terms of his density and his cage roundness. The young lady that wins the second class, that one's definitely more of the show crowd pleaser. That one's extra height at the point of his shoulder, his bone, his foot size, his silhouette projection is one that's very picturesque. The front half of this goat I really can get into. The second half, that's where he runs into problems in terms of just making him smoother, bigger pinned, and making him a super elite one. Very, very high quality market goat. He's the one we like best. She'll be champion. Young man will be reserved. Congratulations.
Hey, Derek. Did you say heavy?
Yeah.
What's an hour? Junior showmanship. Junior showmanship into the arena. Goat junior showmanship. Are you through?
I think so. With my sheep, I am.
You are? Okay. Will you be judging the senior showmanship?
Not in, I did sheep.
Okay, so you can help me with that when it comes to, okay.
Let's put our hands together for these two junior showmen out here doing a really good job. It's an accomplishment just to get these goats to walk in the ring and not do a barrel roll and then end over end. But so I know that each one of you or somebody has done a lot of homework at home, and my hat's off to you. I think both of you do a really, really good job. I think you're both very efficient around the show ring. I just think there's a couple things that are different. I think one is a little quicker about getting their feet where they need to be, and the intensity and the eye contact is definitely differs amongst the pair. I wouldn't argue with you either way. The young man's going to be champion. Young lady's going to be reserved. Congratulations to both of them.
To the show ring now, intermediate showmanship and goats. Intermediate showmanship.
Yeah, she's in the pen back there.
Adult showmanship. You need to fit yourself with a goat and get ready. Ronnie Pitts, John Hanson, Melissa White, and Kelly Reed. What? Kelby Reed. Matt Campbell, as is the case in his life, has bailed himself out.
I'm back.
Senior showmanship.
Yeah.
Good pair of senior showmen here, and my hat's off to each and every one of you. I think what it came down to is, and it made it closer, in my opinion. One of them did a little better job of answering their questions with a little more detail, but at the same time, we have not the biggest ring in the world, and we need to use that to our advantage, because Baylor and I was talking about this the young lady's goat particular, that the longer you let that thing go straight, the more flexible and easier that doe uses her hind leg, and when you're pulling on her head and turning her, it makes her look a little more rigid and restricted. So that would be some of my concerns as you move forward and your showmanship. I think you both do a really good job, but I think the one that's done a very consistent job from the beginning to the end of the show, and just being square, eye contact's good, competitive means, competitive action, whatever the word is, I don't know. Is going to be the young lady here on my right. She'll be your champion. Young lady on the left is going to be reserved. Congratulations.
Sorry.
Congratulations to Adley Hanson, our champion intermediate showman, and our reserve intermediate showman is Reagan Wilson. Don't forget the winners of the goat showmanship. You will be up for the all-around at the end of the show, so after the cattle. So make sure you hang around for the all-around showmanship.
In the senior showmanship division, we have one addition. Keelan Nix has been nominated. If you see him, Keelan Nix, please send him to the arena. I just read the notes, man. I don't know. Got you.
That would have been good. Good job, Paul.
Ellie, are you done?
I have to do something else real quick.
Okay.
And then I might be bringing some
Okay. When you get, you know, done where you feel comfortable, let's chat just a minute. Okay. Senior showmanship is up. Let me see the envelope. Is it KALV? Senior showmanship. They are shopping for goats backstage. We'll be out in just a moment. Adley and Charles will be the judges of this class. Adley and Charles to the arena, please. We have some real heavyweights in the senior class of showmen. Bring to the arena Ronnie Pitts, John Hanson, Melissa White, Kelby Reed, and the very famous but very humble Keelan Nix.
Good, how are you? I think you should show me too.
The winners of junior and intermediate showmen, Adley and Charles Hanson, are our judges, our official judges. And in the ring, senior showman. Obvious these people are old hands and very, very serious.
Mom, I'm right here. No, she's going to see us, not you. Well, I know that she's going to go. Yeah, right.
Well, the crowd says, okay. We have a winner, and he's a winner on so many levels. Well, here's how much of a winner he is. He's donated his winnings back into the pot. Give him a hand, senior showman working without a net. Our only surprise in that senior showman class is that it took that long.
Everyone thinks they added everyone thinks
We want to thank all of our sponsors, and at this point, we want to thank Core Bank because they donated the lunch. Are you ready for lunch? One of the most popular classes that we present here, lunch is served. Way to go, bud. There was some more cooking there.
I said they know who pays the bills.
I said lunch, is that right?
Yeah.
Hang on, we got a presentation.
We're going to do something real quick.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, probably about 12:30 we'll set up. That way everybody need a burger or whatever they have like
I don't like that. I just picture my room that it's you're now she's in my lap, you're in Taylor's lap.
all of the exhibitors, all four species, will you please come to the ring? All the exhibitors.
Go get one Jacksonville. Sorry.
Okay, so get everybody else somewhere. I see her. She's right there.
Miss Rankin, you join the kids in the ring, please.
Cattle kids in here now.
All the cattle kids, all everybody.
Well, I know we don't have pigs.
I'll be over there.
Where's the pig showers? No, I don't need one.
You need me to do something?
I want to follow the kids.
Okay. Exhibitors to the ring, please. It is permissible to toss them over the fence. You're watching the Winoka 4-H and FFA local livestock show. Little assembling of the exhibitors for this picture right here. And some presentations.
Okay, we got one that's got to switch the room a shirt too.
Hey, who was that? I think he's going to get a shirt. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think him and Hayden.
Got it.
Guys.
You will?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me know when you're ready.
I think Mr. Nix went to go get more kids.
Charles. Yeah, thank you, Charles. Thanks, Kaiser. Okay. We got one more coming.
So stay with us because this is going to be a surprise announcement. Certainly a surprise to me. And I think it'll be a surprise to you.
So while we're waiting, we have birthdays today. Charles Hanson and Paisley Reed and Max Redgate. So I think we should sing happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Big finish. Happy birthday to you. You got more? You got more?
Hey, just go. Okay. All right. So I have nothing prepared. So here we go. We were sitting at the trophy auction and this quilt came up for sale. And I popped off one of my great ideas, and Melissa put her hand in the air and kept putting her hand in the air. And so our plans for this quilt were to go to someone that really deserves it. Someone that's been taking pictures all day and always shares them. And is our 4-H leader for how long, Mrs. Rankin? 18 years. And I think she's probably one of the best in the state. She's tried to retire several times and no one lets her. And she's also a really, really great pre-K teacher. I know that when my kids were done with her, they were way more independent. And I think everybody is a better person that knows her. And she just has a heart for community service. And I really admire that. So the board members and several community members came together, and we wanted you to have that quilt.
You good?
I'm not climbing the fence.
And she says, I'll accept, but I'm not climbing the fence.
Oh, he says don't bust it.
Okay, there's no crying in accepting quilts.
Get in there, Miss. Yeah, Melissa, put her right in front of you. Yeah. There you go.
Well, she can't take a picture of this, so you guys take one, and she'll get it from you after the quilt presentation. How about a hand all together for the lady that's getting the quilt and does so much?
Good job.
The quilt was... Say that again.
I have one.
Quilt was donated by Linda Bond at the auction. That's some special kid's grandma, so you can clap loud for her.
Hey, Melissa, after we take one here, let's go to the water. Get that done.
So Melissa directing traffic here. Congratulations, young lady. What a job. A little more shirt straightening and we'll be ready.
Hey, Bryce, look at Miss Rankin.
Everybody look over here.
Look at Miss Rankin, guys. Coulter.
Everybody look at Miss Rankin. And smile. Here we go. Close enough.
Hey, no one, everybody go out to the trailer because we're going to get pictures with the water and Gatorade they donated.
All of these people?
Yes, all of them. Everybody look.
Is the trailer out here?
Yes, by where they're cooking.
And what are we donating?
Water and Gatorade to the fire department. Wait.
What they're being told is go out to the trailer, out the big door. Jumping the fence is permissible but not encouraged.
The water and Gatorade they're donating to the fire department.
Who's donating?
The kids, the exhibitors.
The exhibitors are donating water and Gatorade to the fire department, and this picture that they're going outside for is to take a picture, so the fire department will know who did all of the donations. So we're out to the trailer now for another picture. You can't get enough pictures. You can't take enough pictures. Come on. And then we follow that with lunch. Or dinner if you wish. Thank you for joining us today. You've joined us for half a day so far. We'll see you back after lunch for more at the Winoka 4-H and FFA local livestock show, to be followed by the Woods County Livestock Show on Monday. and then district, and then OEI, and as it goes locally, it goes all through the state. So this is big. This is important today. And we've had a great first half. We'll see you back after lunch for half number 2. Thank you for joining us. We're going to take a break also, and we'll be back.